Okay, so this isn't the first time I've done a video on droning, and it probably isn't going to be the last, but with this video I'm hoping to implement a few more things for you to think about rather than just the generic keep your drone alive during the prep phase. So in today's video what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to break down a couple of different rounds in which I think it showcases the droning pretty well, and it shows off a few different things that hopefully you're going to be able to implement into your game and to, you know, assist in elevating you to higher ranks. So first up today, we're going to take a look at the ability to watch other people's drones. Now, this is probably something that you know about, but you probably don't do a massive amount of. How many times have you gone to push into a room and someone's given a really vague call out and you haven't really understood where they meant? Well, the ability to watch their drone if you haven't got any alive or if they're looking at something is massively underrated, and unfortunately in this situation the guy that was droning didn't actually check the closet and it wasn't clear. Obviously this is unfortunate, it does happen from time to time, and you're never going to get away from it because people are under a time constraint. You have to get in and do your job really quickly, otherwise you're going to run out of time. You can't sit there droning every single corner on the map, so it can be quite difficult. And whilst the point I want you to take away from this is that you can check other people's drones as they're droning to get a bit of an idea of what is going on, what the room layout is, it's also going to be a bit of good advice to just make sure you check the corners before you tell someone else is clear. You can also use this technique the other way around. Say for example you're trying to explain to someone where a rotate hole is in a room. Instead of just like getting them to figure it out from a really vague call out that doesn't make much sense, you can physically show them by saying just look at my drone, and then they can watch it as you showcase it to them. The next thing I want to discuss today is audio cues. Now, you don't need to see the other person in order to know exactly where they are. As you can see from this particular clip here, Goyo was in the bathroom and had absolutely no idea that I was passing intel to all of my team based on audio cues and the white lines that you can see from him shooting. Now, credit, I got very, very lucky, purely down to the fact that as he moved, my grenade was perfectly cooked. He was in a really, really weird spot that I hadn't expected, especially after I've been shooting through the window. But nevertheless, the point still remains. I was passing so much intel to my team that he was there based purely off of audio cues. Because he didn't know that I was sat there listening to him and figuring out whereabouts he was, he didn't actually move. He stayed in the bathroom and he ended up dying because of it. If I had driven my drone in there and just pointed it right at him, maybe even tagged him and put a nice big red ping on him, he's probably going to run away or rotate to a different area of the map. Now, sometimes this does have its pros and its cons. I mean, if you want to get in somewhere and you can try and push someone out by simply using a drone to get access to that room, then definitely utilize that. But for the most part, you don't want the enemy to know that you know they're there. This brings me on nicely to a clip that's probably from last season, maybe even the season before that. I can't remember. I've had it for quite a while with the intention of showcasing this. Now, it starts off with me trying to get into the map on Fortress. As you'll see, I sort of drone myself in just on the top floor. And as I go ahead and drop down, I already know that there's someone nearby to where I'm hoping to push, because if you didn't already spot it, I've already seen someone on my drone. Now, you would be forgiven for missing this, certainly if you are watching on a mobile or something like that. But as I first come around the corner just here, you may have caught a slight glimpse of someone just in front of me. Now, you will very often see people zipping their drones around the map at the speed of light and not actually gaining much intel from it because they're not taking in everything that they're seeing. If this includes you, there is absolutely nothing wrong with slowing down a little bit and checking each room properly. But nevertheless, we're going to carry on with the clip. So after I've droned that, I haven't droned too far ahead. I'm checking the corridors. I'm trying to see where he's going to come out. And then I go ahead and try and set up a claymore just to protect myself. Now, my intention with this is that obviously if anyone tries to flank me, they're probably going to shoot the claymore, but I am going to hear it. Now, you will notice that every time I jump back on my drone, I'm only doing one, potentially two rooms ahead of me. I don't want to put my drone too far away and see something and then not be able to act on it. So each time I'm checking everything and I'm only doing a couple of rooms at a time. And as you'll see here, as I'm pushing through this one, I'm checking the majority of the common places, but I don't check the corner that I've actually just driven past until I turn around halfway through the room to double check it. This gives me all the intel I need to just wall bang the Jaeger that thinks that I haven't spotted him. He thinks the drone has gone straight past and hasn't seen him, when in fact I actually managed to gain so much intel that I was able to kill him through the wall. Now, just like the last clip against Goyo in which the defender didn't know that I was aware of his location, this allowed me to get not only the kill, but also get the kill without having to deal with a one-on-one gunfight. So at the beginning of the video, I did explain that I wasn't going to go over simple things like keeping your drone alive during the prep phase. And whilst that is technically true, we're going to just sort of move slightly to the side and discuss it a little bit. You may have noticed that I've left a drone just outside of the main wall on Consulate. We're attacking the basement and I've left my drone just outside of that drone hole and I'm completely ignoring it now. Someone else is droning me in on the top floor here as a Maru. I've gone up to clear roamers out and subsequently I'm not using my drone. One of the support players is droning for us and feeding that information to both myself and Jackal, who's being played by Mav. And that early droning allowed us to get that kill. Even though the drone went down, it allowed us to secure that, get map control, certainly on the top floor, but we don't know what's going on the floor below us. So I use my second drone. This is a good point to do it. We've got the top floor, we don't have to worry too much about it, and now I can feed intel to other people, predominantly about things like whether the middle floor is clear, but also where cameras are. I'm looking for any sort of rotates or anything like that. The hatch is open, but we already know that the top floor is clear, so we don't have to worry about it. I then take out the camera and push down towards the piano room itself. Now, this particular lineup that we had so much utility in the form of Sledge, Buck, Jackal, and Amaru both having secondary shotguns. We didn't need to bring a Thatcher or anything because we knew that we would get map control and then try and open up from piano. The Thermite manages to get the wall open, and it's at this point that we realise that whilst we are doing a fair bit of work here, we've lost a couple of people, we've got the man advantage. Let's slow it down. Let's put a rotate drone out so that someone that is dead can actually cover us and make sure that, you know, no one is pushing us without us realizing. And then I flip onto the original drone that I had left there during the prep phase, knowing full well that towards the end of the game, I'm probably going to have to drone the site to figure out what the setup is and, you know, what's going on. Now, as a team, we'd already decided we were going to push the main wall. We kind of knew that was coming, which is why we had the lineup that we did, including the Thermite. But by leaving this drone there at the prep phase and having it set up, knowing full well that I wanted to drone the site late round, to be able to give the call out whether it's clear to defuse or not. By doing this and by leaving it in the middle of the room, not only did I manage to be able to call that the site was clear and that we could plant, but we also were able to get the information that Doc was on the yellow stairs, which allowed me to pinch from the other side and actually secure this round. Had I not left my first drone where it was, I wouldn't have been able to drone the site. We would have been going in blind and we would have just been guessing as to whether it was okay to plant. Now, obviously in this situation it would have been, but if you don't know that, you can't actively engage on what is going on. I can't move into piano and start trying to open up the roof and push that person out so that the plant can go down. Instead, I would have just been guessing. So I guess I kind of am coming back to, yeah, keep your drones alive during prep phase, but I'm trying to break it down a little bit further that don't just keep it alive. Either position it where you want to go into the map, or think about how you can utilize it late game. If you set it up so that you can use it halfway through the round, and then use your other drone to push you into the map, or to help someone else get in, then that is definitely a really good way to utilize it. So many people forget to drone late round. They're really good at doing it in the first minute, the first 30 seconds, whatever, and then they just stop doing it. I've said this in a video before, these are 2 free lives. They really are. You get to go in, have a look around the room, and if you die on your drone, it doesn't matter because you're still alive and can actually go moving in with either your second drone or your weapon. You have them for a reason. Try and utilize them as best you can. One of the last things I wanted to talk about today was the jumping. Very often you see people jump into a room with their drone and it's very tempting to traverse across the map. I can't help but press jump. I'm so bad for it. Honestly, I will press jump every opportunity I get nearly. But when you're actually in the game and you're trying to utilize your drone properly, I find that it very often works that if you jump your drone into a room, you will get shot and you will die because people will hear the noise. And not only that, you then can't jump again for a couple of seconds, can you? If, however, you just sort of stealth into the room with your drone, and then if someone spots you, you jump away round a corner so they can't shoot you, this is often the better way to do it. I spent the entire game on drone and then still finished top fragger. Like, I don't know why people don't want to play support. Yeah, one in stock trading, still lying down under the desk.
Okay, which desk?
The first desk, a Cav. She's standing up. She's in stock still. Moving main stairs. It's CEO's on ping. She's close.
Yeah, she's here.
Nice.
Well played.
Nice, well played. There's 3 of us pushing her then.
Yeah, it's perfect. If you're a fan of the Pro League and you watch any of the Pro League games, you will see this happen so frequently, and you probably won't even realize you're seeing it. But what they will do is they will drive their drone into the room just around the door frame to get a bit of a look, and if they see anybody there, they will jump their drone instantly round the corner and pass that information on to someone. They will try to keep the drone alive for as long as possible, try and feed as much of that intel as they can, and by doing exactly this and using that jump feature to get around the corner to safety, they will be able to keep it alive for a lot longer. I'm afraid that's going to be it for today, but hopefully some of these will give you a little bit of an idea of things that you could potentially think about to hopefully help improve certainly your droning game. Don't forget to do it late round. Try and keep your drones alive, and when you do keep them alive, try and position them somewhere that can actually be beneficial. If you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe for all things Rainbow Six. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.